So I got to ask, what do you think of this pop in the pre-market of Nvidia going into earnings? Is that just investor confidence, or is it kind of a rebound with the stock being a bit beaten down in recent days?
Yeah, so I think as we head into the earnings, there is basically renewed confidence that the company should report a solid earnings. I think they're on track to probably to beat their previous guidance, and also that they gave for the fourth quarter, and even for their first quarter. I think we'll continue to see some upside, despite there has been some headwinds about supply side issues. But we expect that they will still probably continue to surprise. And in fact, DeepSeek is a near-term positive because we've also seen that there's been very strong for their H20 chip coming out of China over the last couple of weeks. So that could also provide some uplift into the upcoming quarter.
All right, Frank, I want to ask you about that. So you're saying DeepSeek's a near-term tailwind? Because I think if you look at the chart, a lot of people would think that DeepSeek has put Nvidia shares under pressure and raised a lot of questions about the need for some of their advanced chips. I want to ask why you think it's a near-term tailwind, and what led you to actually raise your price target? You're at 185 now. The rest of the street's at 175.
Yeah, so I think if you look at the initial fear of DeepSeek was that it would change the AI capex trajectory because of significantly lower costs. But within a few weeks, what you've seen is the hyperscalers have not only kept their capex, they've actually raised it. And on large part, a lot of them are raised by more than 20%. So I think that settled some of the initial fears that people had about DeepSeek having an immediate impact to earnings or demand, at least through this year. Now, in terms of why we think it might be a near-term tailwind, is that we've seen in the last month or so, a big change in body language, especially coming out of China. Chinese internet companies like Alibaba have raised their capex quite a bit. That's given, I think, renewed confidence that they have a potential strategy now with DeepSeek, and it's actually created, as we said, a very short-term demand on the H20 chip that goes into the China market. So we think that could also drive some short-term strength.
All right. I'm looking at one of your recent notes. You say that the revenue for the Blackwell chip, at least in the first half of fiscal year 2026, it is on track. In this earnings report, especially the call, a lot of people are going to be asking about Blackwell and just how that's all going. What channel checks are you seeing that are giving you the indication that everything seems to be on track?
Yeah, so I think this is a very good question. I think if you look at, there are still some ongoing supply side issues, especially with the way they're ramping their whole rack architecture, the more system side. And it is more complicated because more things could potentially go wrong. It's not just about making the chip anymore. For the last year and a half, a lot of things that people have tracked is really about their advanced packaging on the semi side. But now, as we know, with the NVL rack architecture, there's going to be more issues around the assembly. But I think on NVIDIA's point of view, though, they could also have another Blackwell chip, the B200, which is a standalone chip. It's a next generation versus the HGX. That is also going to be Blackwell revenue. So we think in the first half of this year, a lot of that strength from Blackwell will come from the standalone graphic chip. And then in the back half of the year, as the supply chain continues to ramp up, we'll see more revenues from the NVL rack. But they're all going to be considered Blackwell revenue. And that's why we think the Blackwell revenue targets are still going to be positive through the first half.
So, Frank, let me ask you a question about the broader market, or more specifically about the chip space. So let's say NVIDIA beats expectations. Is that good for the rest of the chip sector? Because wouldn't that kind of signal that it still has the moat that some people fear that it lost and it has the dominance? Is a bad result potentially good because that might signal that there is more demand for these companies and there are other chips outside of the NVIDIA chips?
Yeah, so I think you already have seen the market start to broaden their horizon. So the end of last year, we saw the market look at the ASIC market. So, Broadcom and Marvell are two companies that are widely, exposed to the ASIC market, and that's been an increased focus for people. But I think, the biggest probably struggle for NVIDIA overall is that, we haven't seen that significant beat and raise going forward. For the last 2 years, we've seen changes in their roadmap that has raised their pricing power significantly almost every 6 months. It's less clear where that is going. They still have a great story. Fundamentals are still very solid. They have very positive second half momentum. But is it enough to significantly lead to another wave of earning revisions on the upward trend? That's probably, I think, a question that some people have.
So if there is an upward revision, is that good for the rest of the chips, or is that not good for the rest of the chips?
I think it's going to carry the sentiment overall for the semi industry. I mean, Nvidia has been doing that for the last year and a half. I think people are looking for alternatives, but at the end of the day, nobody's replacing them in terms of the dominance that they are today, right? So I think they will continue to set the tone.